Lord willing.
To carry on.
Who sang that song?
Debbie Boone.
That's right.
But in the movie, it was
Circa 78. How far back?
yes, but it was in the 70s. And in the movie, the person who played it was the girl who played in Grease. Kiki somebody.
Oh, not Olivia Newton.
No, Olivia Newton-John didn't play in the
She
movie.
was one of the cool ladies.
Yes, I think she was the one who was the beauty school dropout. Yes, Dee Khan.
Yeah.
Yes, she played in the movie. And the name of the movie, I think, was You Light Up My Life.
Frenchie? What was the movie?
I think the name of the movie was You Light Up My Life.
I don't remember that. The girl's favorite movie right now. It's so interesting. They like Breakfast Club was her favorite movie.
You really think I give a shit?
Oh, wow.
It was. Now it's Titanic. Because that boat going down kind of pricked their interest. And I said, well, there's a movie about it. So they are all about Titanic. So
Oh my
we've been
gosh.
watching Titanic. 3.5 hours long. Do you know how long? It's a good movie.
But so are they going through their phase where their Molly Ringwald phase? Were they watching all those
They
movies?
just got into those movies, which I'm glad because I love them. Those were my generation movies. I was 16 years old.
Are you going to have them watch Billie Jean? Pay as you go, Mr. Piper. Pay as you go.
It's the legend.
Yeah, the Legend of Billie Jean.
I would if they're interested. They've got a pretty wide range of interest, which is really, really good. I like that. And Harper's favorite entertainer right now is Britney Spears.
Oh, baby.
She loved like
Hey, it could be Neil Diamond.
could be, or it could be Metallica, which wouldn't bother me either.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Or Cinderella.
Well, why not?
They're kind of past all that.
No, the group Cinderella.
Oh, Cinderella.
Do you remember
I
Cinderella?
do. Oh,
The big
yeah.
hairband?
Uh-huh.
Or Rat?
Mid 80s.
Metalhead like Tochi, of course, you know,
Yeah,
Cinderella.
Motley Crue, all the
Yes.
Warrant.
Foreigner.
I could go. I don't consider them big.
Foreigner. Well, they're not really heavy metal, but their songs are.
Crocus.
Yeah.
Remember Crocus? Are we dating ourselves? We thought we were dating.
We are. And what was the
Still good
name?
music though. It's great music.
Yeah. What was the name of
I thought.
the
Def
group?
Leppard was-
Oh, White Snake.
Oh yeah, David Coverdale. They're all good bands. So that's one of my go-tos.
Lita Ford.
That's one of my go-tos on Pandora is like 80s hair rock. It's
Do you remember Lita Ford?
yes, I do.
She still says, "What happened to our rock and our kiss me twice?" Yeah.
She was a rock.
I love
I
ABBA.
introduced me to school through a production they were doing, and they loved that damn song.
Do you know the story behind
Good.
Dancing Queen?
Yeah, that's good music. No.
The story behind the Dancing Queen, where they say only 17?
Yeah.
It's supposed to have been only 14 or something, but they were saying, no, that sounds very creepy.
When you say teenage, how old are we talking?
Boy, oh boy, ask and you shall receive. I have read your comments, I have gotten your emails, and you just want more Judge David Fleischer. He's all over the internet. He's the new YouTube sensation. I'm even getting texts from old school members saying to check him out. Obviously, you haven't been watching my videos if you're telling me to put them on, because that's all I've been showing. Because, well, he's fantastic. So, what I decided to do today to end the weekend is just show a bunch of single cases for you guys, uninterrupted. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Set your notifications to all. So without further ado, it's time to take a trip to the Fleischer Dome.
Yeah.
Page 8, Lopez Christopher. Loa Jose.
Hey, Marcus, you ready?
Yes.
Come on.
This is Loa, Loa.
Buenos días, ¿qué tal? Párese aquí en el centro, por favor. Me llamo Luis, el intérprete, mucho gusto. Solo mire,
You-
sí le contesté en español.
Jose Loa.
¿No?
Mr. Loa, you
Sí,
were
señor.
charged with,
Señor. Sí, señor.
were charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir. Please don't say anything.
Por favor, no diga nada.
On April
El
13th,
13 de abril,
there was a traffic stop due to a running red light.
a un semáforo de luz en rojo que se pasó.
The defendant was found to have slurred speech and red eyes. Officers
El
found
oficial encontraron
one bottle
una
and
botella
2 cans
y 2
of beer.
latas de cerveza.
He admitted to
Él
drinking
admitió
6
consumir
at the
6
bar with his
en el
friend.
bar con sus amigos.
He scored a 6 on the
Él
HGM,
sacó 6 en el extremo horizontal,
6 on the walk and
6
turn,
pistas en el camino giro,
and 2 on the one leg
2
stand.
pistas en el tablero de pierna.
He consented to
Él
breath and blew a
control de
.08
.08
twice.
2 veces.
So did they charge the open container? Did they say that it was cold to the touch? Anything like this?
They stated
Ellos
that
declararon que
2 of the cans were empty. I'm not sure about the bottle.
no sé, estoy seguro de la
The
botella.
information doesn't charge it. I'll amend it now, Judge.
Mr. Loa, I would hope that it's elementary that you're not supposed to consume alcohol while you are driving.
Como ir manejando.
That in and of itself is a minimum of 5 days in jail.
Estudios de carro.
And if you are not in this country with permission, you go to jail for that time. I will guarantee you
Yo voy a garantizar
that
que
immigration will put a detainer on you. You will be stuck like Chuck in jail for the next year, waiting for immigration to do what they do to you.
hagan lo que van a hacer con usted.
Play it smart while you are in the free world, because if you don't,
Mientras está
I will
libre,
take the free world away from you.
el mundo libre a usted, señor.
You understand?
Yo. Sí, señor. Yes, sir.
I'm warning you not to consume
No
alcohol,
consuma alcohol.
illegal drugs,
Es ilegal.
or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you.
Vamos al azar.
Do you have a Texas driver license?
No, sir.
You will now sign this promise to me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what your excuse is. If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You will be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get in a car and drive.
Cada vez que usted se monta
You
en un
understand?
auto, ¿entendió? Sí, señor. Yes, sir.
I'm absolutely serious. This is the only warning you're going to get from me. Take it well.
¿Verdad?
If you don't,
Si no la tomas,
you're going to be stuck in jail for an extremely long time.
la cárcel puede estar por bastante tiempo.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I didn't catch it earlier. Did you impose an interlock on this case, Judge?
Is it a first?
It is, Judge.
Yes,
It's a
it is,
.08.
No prior DWIs?
En el caso de
Then I'm not going to.
Yes.
I'm assuming you want me to.
Of course he does, Judge.
Yes.
The state of Texas wants me to put an interlock on you, a device where you would take with you everywhere you go to prove to me you're not consuming alcohol. I'm going to trust that you're not going to consume alcohol now, Mr. Lower. But if I find that you do, the first thing I'll do, I'll put you in jail. The next thing I will put a monitor on you at all times. I'm going to trust you now.
Eran ustedes,
Do you
ya.
understand?
Sí, señor. Yes, sir.
You have a lawyer.
No,
Good job on having a lawyer so quick.
Tener abogado tan rápido.
Because you have one, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Adroga and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If he tells me that he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games and not responding to his phone calls or text messages, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You will not get any more PR bonds.
Sí, tengo una fianza personal de parte mía.
For now, we'll have you go swear to us that you're not going to drive, then you'll get to go sign a reset. After that, you'll meet with Jeremiah for your bond conditions, then you're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Page 8, Lopez Christopher, come on up.
Yes,
Can you tell one conditions of Flores?
there was no going back to that,
Eyeglass.
yeah, that,
Yes, Judge.
no new cases.
Lopez.
Are you Christopher Lopez? Mr. Lopez, you're now charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On April 11th, officers are conducting surveillance of a public parking lot located in Harris County. An account on Instagram promoted a parking lot takeover. Officers observed 60 to 70 vehicles in the parking lot, creating a pit in the center of the parking lot. A bright yellow Corvette was in the pit doing donuts, multiple donuts in the pit, and observed the yellow Corvette attempting to leave. We followed and conducted a traffic stop where it revealed the now defendant's driver and that he was previously arrested on October 8th, 2023 for racing in the same vehicle.
You don't get it. So in this one here, he's doing donuts. What's he doing?
Yes, Judge, video, rear end suspect counterclockwise circle pattern, slide 363, causing smoke to emanate from the rear tires, second donut, more smoke. Within 10 to 15 feet of other vehicles that were occupied, and they were collision between this vehicle and other vehicles, and they were occupied.
Mr. Lopez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I know that I've already warned you that the legislature has made it extremely easy for the DA's office to seize that Corvette from you. If you continue to pick up these cases, it's going to happen. This is now your second case like this. I'm now taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive whatsoever for any reason. Do you understand? Yes or no? If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. You will sign an affidavit before you leave today. You understand? If you drove here, you may not drive home. I don't care what your excuse is. You drive, you'll be doing a substantial amount of time in jail now. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you sign this. You'll get to Victoria where we're going to have you sign a reset. And then I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while I get your bond conditions. You mind also filing no reckless driving, donuts, street takeovers. Come on.
Judge.
Mr. Vasquez, you are charged with driving while your license is suspended.
Yes, sir.
You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer, the lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On March 17th, officers were patrolling when they observed a pickup brake and the rear brake light was out. Officers initiated a traffic stop and made contact with the now defendant, who was the driver. When officers asked for a driver's license, the defendant stated that he did not have one. They ran him in TCIC and CIC with this information and found that he was ineligible for a driver's license because his license was suspended on March 11th, 1995. He was suspended in 1995 and his license expired in 2007. And he was taken to JPC. He has a prior conviction of the same on
Priors.
Well,
Two prior suspended license, right?
yes, 2 priors here. He also has a more recent DWI conviction in Fort Bend in 2019 and another 2004.
So he has 2 prior DWIs.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Vasquez, good things do not happen when you get into a car. So Don't get into a car. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today promising me that you're not to drive. Until you have a license, you may not drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You drive, you'll be doing a hefty time in jail. If that's the only way that we can get through to you, then that's so be it.
Mhm.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm retired already. I'm receiving Social Security,
How much do you receive in Social Security, sir?
1,200.
Would you like me to appoint you a lawyer today?
Yes, sir.
You also realize that a third DWI, you're facing up to 10 years in prison, sir.
Yes.
So above all else, I would never, ever get into a car, even if you've had one beer. But for now, don't get into a car anyways, for any reason. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. And if you can't get enough of Judge David Fleischer, right here, you will enjoy the ever-growing playlist. Let's roll.
This is an affidavit that you will be signing, a court order promising us you're not to drive. I don't care what your excuse is. If you drive, it's a long time in jail. Do you understand? All right, I'll have you come up here, swear to this. I'm gonna have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box while I find you a lawyer,
Okay.
please.
All right, Judge, page
All right.
17, 18, Walker.
Raise your right hand. You swear that you don't have any motor vehicle with the court approval?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can go continue.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you Taryn Walker?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Walker, you're charged with 2 counts of possession of, no, sorry. 1 count of possession of marijuana, the other one is possession of a controlled substance. On the weed case, you're facing up to 6 months in jail. On your other case, on the pill case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you can afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On April 11th, officer observed vehicle with a defective brake light, and upon a traffic stop, made contact with the now defendant who's operated the vehicle. Noticed a strong odor of marijuana coming from the vehicle. When asked the defendant when he last smoked, he said earlier in the day. When the officer asked the defendant if he was still in possession of marijuana, the defendant began reaching for the marijuana. Asked the defendant to step out of the vehicle and detained him. A probable cause search found a prescription bottle inside of a backpack, approximately 15 grams of Xanax, and another bag containing 2.82 ounces of marijuana. The backpack was on the center seat of the back.
Mr. Walker, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, sir?
Yes, sir.
Can you run his license, please?
Yes, Judge.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
Then you're not allowed to drive.
Yes, sir.
Until you have liability insurance in your name, you're not to drive, and I'm going to have you sign an affidavit promising me that you're not going to drive. If you drive, you'll be going to jail for a long time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
Okay, I'm 26.
26.
Sir.
What do you do in life, sir?
I do Uber Eats and Lyft,
Uber?
sir.
What?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that Uber's going to employ you without insurance?
No, sir.
Right. Not a smart move. Don't do it because you're going to get in a lot of trouble.
Eligible, Judge.
I have people that come in here, they get into an accident and create $30,000 to $40,000 worth of damage in an automobile accident. They're called accidents because that's what they are. They're not on purpose. It's just something happens, even if it's not your fault. Some force comes in and causes you to wreck, like Bambi runs across you. They will come after you personally, get a judgment against you, and take everything you own. That's why you have liability insurance where you pay $20 a month to protect you in the event that that happens.
Yes, sir.
Do not drive.
Yes, sir.
Melissa, I filed the other bond conditions and the motion to amend the information on the.
Okay. For now, I'm going to give you a lawyer so that you can talk to someone about this. If you can prove to me that you can get liability insurance in your name, we can talk about you driving, but until that point, there's no driving whatsoever.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't care what your excuse is.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll have you come up here, swear test that you're not going to drive. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. I'll find out.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Next.
Good morning. Hey,
Working on Julio Guzman for
Mr. Guzman. So you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to 6 months of jail and or a $2,000 fine. What are we doing? Mr. Williams, okay. 3 days with 8 days credit? Is this what you want to do, Mr. Guzman?
I do indeed.
What did he say?
I do indeed.
I didn't hear what he said.
You do indeed.
He do the deed?
Say yes, sir, no, sir.
I do indeed.
I got to know that you understand what's going on, Mr. Guzman.
Yes.
Mm-mm. You were giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf.
I did it, sir. I did it.
Be quiet, wait till he's done.
It's okay. It's all right. You can- You were giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal once you accept this agreement. You can never come back and change this. Is this what you want to do, Mr. Guzman?
I live with my decisions. That's responsibility.
How do you plead to the offense, sir? Guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty.
Guilty for that. That I am guilty of.
Well, I feel for you, Mr. Guzman. Unfortunately, that you won't be able to get released just yet, but at least you're done with this one here. I will
Yes.
find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. I'll roll your court costs. You won't owe anything. And good luck to you, sir.
May all the guilty carry their guilt, even in secret. May all the guilty carry their guilt.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He had an ag assault. What?
And I guess I'll retaliation. This guy.
Wait, is this, this one, it's not an arraignment sitting there, right? Just talk to, Delia. This was a.
He threatened someone with a shovel. A shovel.
I mean, like, if it's an arraignment.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Next. No. Admonishments first, correct?
Oh, right here.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Luis.
Con confianza, usted no responde en
Hágase
español,
aquí en el
¿ok?
centro.
Mira, el juez también habla
Nada más
español.
él. Me contesta español nada más. No me mira a mí.
Vázquez Pérez.
You are Antonio Vasquez Perez.
Solo español. Le acabo de decir solo español.
Yo también.
¿Hablan inglés? Entonces solo español. Hágame el favor.
You were charged with driving while intoxicated, facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir. Okay.
On April 14th,
14 de
officers
abril,
were dispatched to a single vehicle
fueron
accident.
despachados a un accidente de carro solitario.
They observed heavy
Observaron
damage to this
daño
defendant's
grave
vehicle
al
in the
vehículo
middle
de esta
lanes of
persona
the
en
freeway.
los carriles medios del
The defendant was observed
El
standing next
acusado
to the
fue
vehicle
observado parado
with
encima
red
del
glossy
vehículo, con
eyes,
los ojos enrojecidos,
swaying while standing,
tambaleando al
and a
pararse,
strong odor of alcohol on
fuerte
his
olor de
breath.
alcohol sobre su aliento.
The defendant gave his vehicle keys to the officer
Sus llaves de-
and admitted he was driving home from a
admitió
bar
que estaba manejando
where he
casa
drank 3 beers.
donde se tomó
He had 6 on HGN,
3 cervezas, tuvo
7 on walk and turn,
nistagmo horizontal,
2 on one leg stand.
2 pistas en para una pierna,
DIC was red,
advertencia
and he had a VAC of .163 and .171. No history, Judge.
Mr. Vasquez Perez, are you a United States citizen?
¿Es un ciudadano americano?
No.
No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Permiso o sin permiso? Sin permiso. Without permission.
Do you know what happens if you go to jail?
¿Si usted va a una cárcel, señor?
No.
No.
If you go to jail
Cárcel.
and immigration finds you,
¿Quién lo encuentra ahí?
they will put a detainer on you. You will remain in custody until immigration decides what to do with you, which is either deport you or let you go. Unfortunately, you will wait at least 9 months waiting for immigration to do anything with you because of how backed up they are.
Tan atrasados que están.
That's what you have waiting for you if you go to jail. Anyone here who depends on you will be stuck
Una persona
because you will be in jail.
problemas, ¿por qué? Porque usted está en una cárcel.
Do you understand?
¿Sí entiende? Hable más fuerte. Sí, señor.
I am now finding probable cause in your case. I am putting conditions on your bond. If you violate these conditions, I will put you in jail. And if you are unlucky enough, you're going to be there for an extremely long time. Do you understand?
Señor.
The first and the most important thing I'm telling you is do not drive.
Maneje automóvil.
I will have you sign a promise with me. This is an affidavit that you're going to make today, promising that you're not going to drive. I don't care what your excuse is. If you drive, you will be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive, because every time you drive, it's an offense in and of itself. I am also ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or dope, likewise, I will put you in jail.
En una cárcel. Yes, sir.
This is the only warning that you will get from me. Some people take it, some people don't, and they only learn the hard way. If you don't believe me, ask Herman. For now, we will have you sign this. We will have you go on your way. You must stay in contact with Herman.
Estarse en comunicación
If
con
Herman tells me that he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, likewise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
su arresto. Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Just for Mr. Vasquez Perez's information, Judge, his appearance waived so long as it complies with the court's conditions and keeps in touch with me.
Yes.
It's like you.
Sí, no tiene que venir hasta.
You must stay in contact. Do not drive.
No maneje bajo ninguna circunstancia.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Okay, please. Hey, look, I warmed them up for you. No. What, did I make you upset this morning?
What time did Mr. Thomas get here? You, Emmanuel Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thomas, what time does court start? No. 8:30. Please be here on time. Mr. Thomas, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present and questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you.
On April 12th, Officer With the property manager of the signature stating several subjects appeared to be selling narcotics out of a room located at the business. The manager reported that various individuals were frequently entering and exiting the room or loitering outside the door. On arrival, the strong odor of marijuana was smelled from the parking lot, and the door was observed open. After further investigation in plain view were several bags containing a green leafy or marijuana. As the officer approached the room, he observed an unidentified male sitting in the driver's seat of the vehicle with clear baggies containing marijuana and approached the vehicle. Additionally, a strong odor of marijuana was emanating from the vehicle. The now defendant was a driver who was detained. As search yielded baggies containing 0.252 ounces of marijuana found in the driver's seat. This defendant is on bond for a state jail felony marijuana charge.
He's on bond for a felony weed case, and he just now picked up another weed case. Do we know what the felony court's gonna do?
They filed a motion to revoke on April 15th, but they haven't had that hearing yet that I know of.
No, it's set for June 12th, but if they just filed it, I would imagine they're going to want
They notified the court to set a hearing for the pretrial officer. I'm presuming they're getting the information from their CSO. But also note is that in this court, he had a prior dismissed marijuana charge on April 4th as well. So this would.
Mr. Thomas, do you have a Texas driver license? You are not allowed to drive. If I find that you drive, I will have a, look at me. If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand? You're signing an affidavit with me today promising me that you're not going to drive. Until you have a license and liability insurance, do not drive. I'm now ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. And I'm telling you now, I'm going to test you in 30 days from today. You test positive for dope, for marijuana, I will put you in jail. And if you can't stop, I will put you in a rehab program in the jail that lasts for a minimum of 9 months if you respond well to treatment. You understand? So Jeremiah, 30 days from today, let's see. Yep. Mr. Thomas, you're going to get tested on that day. Do you know what happens if you test positive? What happens? Right. Not only that, but it's very possible now that they revoke your bond in your felony case as well, because you're on bond for a felony dope case. You just now picked up another one and they filed a motion to revoke. So get ready, because it's at some point they're going to revoke that felony bond and a new felony warrant will issue. I would be very careful and talk to your lawyer as soon as you can. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria. We're going to get you out of here to hire a lawyer. And then after that, we'll get you to Jeremiah for your bond conditions. Stop smoking weed. If you want to do that, go to California, Colorado. You can do it as much as you want there. You live in Texas. That way. Your case is 1,258 days old. You have been given PR bond after PR bond after PR bond after PR bond. It ends today. You should not have been given another PR bond. Stuart, it is 223-3769, one of 3 cruelty to animal cases. I will have you going back, speak to your lawyer now. No more PR bonds. It ends today. She goes with you, please. And then James, do you need the phone number for the holdover?
Yes, Judge. Let me,
Which one?
I'm gonna say 2680.
If for some reason that doesn't work, just let me know.
okay. Thank you, Judge.